news.
What is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
The Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Joan Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call cell numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk, from this house. Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference. Here this afternoon, and we've been having some technical difficulties. If you're now getting our sound, please make sure you can just give us a thumbs up there. And I think by now it is getting better. We're getting some sounds that it is getting better. Technical difficulties, but this edition of the Diaspora Talk, we're going to be looking at the startup of campaign season in Liberia. What are some of the things that happen across our country? Already, we see political party leaders are in their high gear, high spirit indeed, spirit filled. We see the former in battle political leader of the opposition Liberty Party now supporting the candidacy of former Vice President Joseph Boakai. Yombli Kanga Lawrence was in a jubilant mood ahead of the start of the campaign. We also saw Musa Belete and his team, on the other hand, from the CPP. They were also there making sure they can just jubilate. And of course, the CDC started with a prayer service. And there are a lot of couple of things that we are looking at. Like you said, Nathan, people are looking at what comes out of the 2023 general and presidential elections. And I know your eyes have been out on all of the social platforms of the different political parties.
Yes, indeed. As you know, we cannot sleep. We are really worried about what's going to go on in Liberia, and looking at what happened with previous election from different countries coming into Liberia, seeing the pockets of election violence, seeing how political parties, partisans are carrying out these activities. Indeed, we are worried. Like you mentioned before, we saw the start at the kick of the campaign from various religious institutions, meaning the Christian and the Muslim. We saw a huge group of partisans from both camps or different political parties storming their sanctuary, place of worship, to campaign in that area. We also saw people in the streets, right? Currently, as I speak to you, there are pockets of different groups. Joseph Human Worker Group, the Coalition for Democratic Change Group of George Weah, the Alexander Commerce Group, the Tier 1 Gonglo Group. There are all a lot of people all around, and they are carrying on campaign activities. But indeed, we must ensure that the free flow of traffic, we must ensure that there is no disturbance, because according to NEC, you must let them know where you are carrying out your political activities, so you can have people not clashing with each other. So these are things we're watching from afar. But so far we've seen like the situation that happened at President George. We are condemned on Sunday. Some of the supporters from the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, we saw them having a token casted, and on that casted it had the image or the flyers of the Joseph Newman Boyka, the standard bearer of the Unity Party, and saying that they are going to bury him, and these are sound it provoke other people who have seen these things happen before, in the past, and it is not time to accept that. We must graduate from things like that. Totem casting as a sign of symbol of burying somebody. You cannot wish or pray for anyone's death, because hey, if you start doing that, people will also start showing jobs and doing other things to your leader, to officials within your party. Nobody want to see people holding the casting of George Weah's pictures and say you're going to bury George
President
Weah,
Weah or something.
and stuff like that. So it says, what you do to other, expect them to do to you. They say, clean the coal in your eye before you tell somebody, hey, there's a coal in your eye. So indeed, we need to watch that, and our leaders must not just say these things. They
Must act them.
They must act. You saw these people, you know them. What can you do? If you just start them, not just okay, we're just warning them. Just start them. Let's see that, because that's the highest level they have done. We've seen, like somebody was telling me, anytime CDC told cast it, there's an issue. It's always defeat for them. So we saw that during previous election. So they was like telling me they should not go into the casting. They should go back and rethink what casting has done to them to the defeat. And indeed, this campaign must be more civilized, and because we saw previous time they held out women honor clothes and with stuff in honor the Eden Johnson study regime. These are bad signals sent out there to the kind of party. They are responsible people in the party, right? So these bad apples who want to just pledge loyalty or want to provoke other people, let us cut them. Somebody can say, let's nip them in the butt.
Yeah, let's get on it before it starts, because this, I mean, like you put it, is something that worth condemning, and these are things that are smells of violence, or that lead to violence. Another camp could take such to provoking their opponents, or I mean, in different manners, and those are things that we all must stand up to and tell people it's not the right way to go. We need to refrain from this, and run a clean campaign, clean enough and peaceful campaign, because whatever we do, and I saw something from Mo Ali this morning,
Of the Unity
of the
Party.
Unity Party. There was a post that Mo Ali did with an elite, and he said in his post, "Dear CDC, we have got hold of your plans to hijack our billboards and to take down the ones we have already erected. This is a warning to all you hooligans that we will not tolerate such. To sign up to the Farmington Accord, and we expect you sign up to the Farmington Accord, and we expect that you will live up to it, even though you are a lawless party. Let this serve as an official warning." So if these things, people start to make these kind of claims, expecting that maybe their billboards will be taken down, their banners erected will be taken down, then I mean, the neck should keep its eyes out. And that's one key thing: security.
But the neck is not police.
Yeah, they have the responsibility to monitor and evaluate what's going on. The police should provide security for our people. There are regulations on our laws, what to be done and what not to be done. If you read the NEC website or their social media page, they do have the regulations, the rules and regulations governing the campaign period. So there are things there that we will be looking at as we go about. We'll continue to remind the political parties of their responsibilities and what they do have. And to this, go ahead.
And there's a statement coming from ECOWAS.
Mhm.
ECOWAS is always the Economic Community of West African State. They are there, the ECOWAS Commission, they release a statement from the commission, just a paragraph 3, as we were mentioning this act by the Congress for Coalition for Democratic Change. Paragraph 3, count 3 says the ECOWAS representative office in Liberia expressed deep concern and condemnation of the unacceptable act displayed by some CDC supporters as the campaign opened on August 5th, 2023. We refer to carrying a casket with the image of the UP presidential candidate, Ambassador Joseph Human Borka, in a manner that amounts to provocation. So you see that ECOWAS already pinpoint that. As I was just speaking, this statement came up today that, hey, indeed, and the ones those engaged in the CDC parties, CDC party campaign committee to condemn this act as well. So indeed, ECOWAS have already spotted a major key point. I'm sure the U.S. Embassy will come up. The election coordinating committee will also come up with some statement. These are things we must not accept. Even the president, in a statement, President George Weah, the executive mansion, also condemned that, went on to say that anyone caught doing such act again will be persecuted in line with the parties and the agenda. And he said it doesn't matter your status. So you can be Mobile Molo, you can be Jeff Kochi, you can be Thomas Fala, you can be anyone, Isota, anyone in the party. So we hope that it should not just be mouth. Let's ensure that election is a void of provocation.
And onto that, let's bring you an excerpt from the president when he spoke yesterday at the church service he attended, along with his campaign team headed by Eugene Nangwe. Eugene Nangwe is the on leave commissioner of the Liberian Maritime Commission. He was there with President Weah, the Secretary General Jefferson Koji, and other members of their party. He spoke about this at that church service yesterday. Let's see whether we can bring you an excerpt.
What happened yesterday? The sound of my voice, all agreement, all sufficient reaction, the auxiliary protocol. When you align yourself with God, you cannot align yourself with Satan. When you believe in God, believe in God and continue to pray. Because only God knows the plan for you and His plan. Yesterday we had an important event at our work. It was a religious event, and I saw on the internet people getting casted. This will never happen again. This will never happen again in this fight. Let me, I don't know that I did this. If you knew the CDC is a peaceful party. So where we came from, 2005 elections or 2010 elections, we hold the period of peace in this country, democracy. We have the mantle of democracy in the country.
And I tell you, President, we are there yesterday at a church service where he condemned also the toting of casket by members of his political party. But like you put it, Nathan, I think there is a need that those in charge of the different campaigns take siege of these things, void of confusion, not waiting until you get condemnation from ECOWAS, from the United States Embassy, or let's say our partners in general. But it's important that people take responsibility of what they do.
Yes, and even if they go against the norms of the Farmington or the laws of just or normal civilization, they must be corrected, and and we need to ensure that we monitor the activities during campaign. We should not be just carried by the euphoria, because some people say too much activeness bring about rudeness, right? When you do overactive, it bring about rudeness. You must not be carried away by the situation. Election is all we have, because I tell you, people will start blocking traffic, breaking windshield, and infringing other people's right, damaging properties. This is not what we want, and we hope that people will go about doing this in a more civilized manner. This is where the police come in. That's why we're allocating for more support for our security apparatus. Police do not have vehicles to, even within Monrovia alone. Maybe if something is happening on the Ghana on the Chipeni Highway, right? That's why they call it right now. Yeah. Onto Central Monrovia. So you don't have cells and stuff like that. You saw the police. I saw a police vehicle, one of the opposition vehicle posted from Maggie County. That's the one we call KAR. That's the one we call KAR. Damaged windshield, and it's not accessible for anyone to reach how to reach area. So indeed, we need more support. And again, it must just be conducted in a more civilized manner. We see politicians now all over current as I speak to you. I see P. He's there in his area to campaign.
He's a senatorial candidate for Moserado County, ticket of the Unity Party.
The Unity Party people, they are also campaigning. I see a couple of stream here from there. The CDC people, they are also doing a couple of pockets campaign and other things that going around. But we hope to see other political parties to come in. So far, we've seen these 2 or 3 groups of people who are, mustering the courage, creating that atmosphere for people to know that yes, we are in election. At the same time, other candidates are also having different press conferences to engage in their communities. And we've seen in district number 6, district number 8, Moserado County, Yeke Koluba district, the highly contested, controversial area.
It's a very highly contested. Josephine Davis is there. Yeke Koluba is he's an independent candidate. There's another Yeke Sekui or something, and the son of Jeremiah Kuhn, vice standard bearer of the Unity Party. And I listened to him the other day. He said no matter what, he's going to support his father's party. No matter what, whether there is a candidate against him or not, he's going to support him. But there are a lot of things happening. But let's bring you some of these teasers from the launch of the campaign last weekend. Yombli Kanga Lawrence, Musa Belate, the CDC choir, and all of that.
And interestingly, Musa Belate is from the Muslim background. He was like in Holy Ghost, the Holy Ghost
with the Christian celebration. That's the beauty of politics and what it brings. Let's bring you this one. We'll be right back.
We are cover all countries, and our people are working. Nothing ever say you do nothing, but I won't do nothing. So now we know the queen is our phone. How do I bring my portion? Down to work, so show. That I can't even find a piece of bone. But you are high. You know why you are high. Down to work, so show. Down to what I do, so. On a piece of bone. But you are high. Last year was 8. I still high. I did it. So free talking. Nothing ever say you do nothing. But now you want to do something. So, but now you want me to do nothing. So free talking. Never say you do nothing. But now you want to.
This is it from the
And for all the time I was president of the Senate, my job was to sit down and direct the debate. So you put your hand up, I recognize you. I'm telling you, one day, Mr. Weah never put his hand up. Because he didn't have anything to say. That's why they were calling Bobo Senator. I'm not joking. The only thing about us, we're not honest. Joe Howard Taylor knows that.
But let me say something to you. Hold on, let me say something to you. I said to you, every year they come with the same story. Just the other day, someone said that, when I was in the Senate, as the president of the Senate, Georgia did not put a hand up. My people, in a very soft tone. Yes, you are correct. You will not see my hand because every time I put it on, you'll be sleeping. So how you see my hand? Mr. President, you not be. Now you see my hand. But you forgot to know that for the first time, our chair recognized me. And everybody, the 30 men in that room, the 29 men in that room said our passport will be $50. George Manawia. I argued with them for 3 hours. It was never happen. Our parents go to the market, they can't even make $50. Our passport can be $50. And somebody comes to say, when they in the Senate, I can put my hand up. I don't just talk. You understand? I was taught to say the right thing at the right time, so I can be successful in what I do.
And I tell you, President George, we are there, climaxing on that one. And that on you, I mean, it is gonna get more crazier than we think. And I love when there is a debate. I love when there are jabs, but then there are things that should be controlled.
Well, that's why maturity comes in, and you will experience that because one thing about Liberia, if somebody says something and you don't clarify, the audience tend to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, it is time that we in the media start to check mark these things. There's a big misinformation or disinformation that, hey, when now president or senator, he did nothing in terms of the legislation he pushed forth. So we need to go back to start reviewing these things, right? Under his leadership, what has been there is Joseph Burka talking the truth, that doing all of his sitting, because all of these things are recorded, right? It is time that we start going back to verify as to whether there's something called check mark. You got to check mark this statement during campaign, and just make sure that, hey, these people who are preaching as to whether they are very much open or fair to, or just saying these things because they want to say them. So we will see a lot of that. But again, the campaign must focus on your platform. They must focus on what you intend to do for your people. People don't want to, I mean, it's not a comedy right now. You guys are in the comedy show. I consider that. What are the substance? How many roads have you built for us, Mr. President, right? How many roads do you intend to build for us? What has been the bottleneck you have not done these things. Liberians, you promise, will not be spectators in their own home. How many Liberians you can point to have not been spectators in their own home? Opposition, name some of the Liberians who are spectators in their own home. What are the flaws of the George Weah government that you can convince our audience not to vote for him to make him one-term president? These are hardcore facts we need to start preaching. President George Weah, talk about women empowerment. How many young girls or women you have empowered? Start putting forth these things, not just making everything in one. Sometimes how you digest, how you bring forth your message will resonate with the people. That one person life you transform. See the amount of homes you build, right? You have transformed people from Gibraltar, from other communities. Can you tell the story about that? The roads you have constructed, the people who you have helped in terms of improving the life or giving them a life. Can you summarize these things? Opposition, look at the flaws of the George Weah, the transportation system, the market, right?
What are you
jobs?
thinking? What are your own plans?
What are your own plans to transform? Few statement I read from Alexander B. Cummins. He had a press conference here. I'm trying to put out that statement, looking at what Cummins said on the Cummins and what is the lady name? Charlie Bromskin, what they would do for Liberia. Alexander B. Cummins, he's another factor within the election. And he said in his statement, today I read that, today I promise that a Cummins Bromskin administration will fix the lack of leadership that is hurting our people, who will restore international confidence in the new leadership of the Liberian government and attract serious international investor back to our country. With your support and vote October 10, we will be the beginning to the end of stealing in government, abuse of office, mismanagement of public resources, and the sale of Liberia's wealth by government officials, while Liberians continue to remain poor. These are things Cummins pushing forth under the Cummins Bromskin and the leadership. But indeed, hey, words should match your action. What are some of the action you have been taking, Mr. Cummins? We need to know them, right? All of these fancy statements, for me, I don't believe in any politician statement now.
That's another long one here from Joseph Walker.
Okay.
There's another long one here. So if I'll just get few lines in this. He said, with deep conviction and a strong sense of duty driven by our collective call for change to a brighter future for Liberia, I'm fully committed. Our mission in this campaign is clear. We are determined to democratically replace the current George Weah regime and put an end to widespread corruption, unexplained mysterious death, economic and social degradation of our people, and incompetence that has plunged our nation. Together, we must join hands to rebuild our beloved Liberia and restore good governance, transparency, and accountability. Our aspirations go beyond mere ambitions. They reflect a profound commitment to the welfare of every Liberian. Our vision is one collectiveness where opportunities and prosperity are accessible to all, regardless of their background or origin. So it's a long piece, but these are some of the promises we will see. But how can their campaign teams, like you say, tailor them to the everyday living and well-being of the Liberian people? There are people in far to reach areas that don't even have internet to read these messages, right? How are you crafting your messages through peaceful, dissemination, whether through radio or other means that will reach the people, the common people, to tell them either what you have done as president over the last 5 to 6 years or what you intend to do as somebody who's seeking to replace President George Weah. I think this should be more about tangibles and what you have to offer the Liberian people. I think that's what we should get.
It's not what you have, because nobody will have that.
I mean, when I say have, your plans. Okay, what do you have in your own manifesto that you think can transform the lives of the Liberian people? Or if you have been doing it over the last few years, what are some of those things you can constructively display to our people that this is what we've done, or these are things that we've done for you, and these are things that we think we can continue to do or take to the next level if you give us a second chance, not just about people jumping to the street, cussing each other up, throwing jabs without, control. Those are things that will lead to put that potentially will lead to electoral violence if those campaign teams don't have a means of controlling them before they get out there. Like we saw the issue of the casket. His late president said he watched it, he's condemning it, be peaceful. We are the peaceful people. But what is Mr. Eugene Nangwe, who's heading the campaign, doing? What will Mr. Jefferson Koji, who's the Secretary General of their party, doing? What will Mr. Moba Molu be saying? What will Musa Hassan Belete be out there saying? What will the Liberty Party be? The ANC or CPP be saying? What will the Unity Party, held by Dr. Reverend Ruda Tape, be saying to their people? So these are things that we are all looking at, and we'll keep our eyes on them as they unfold. Our public will have to know what's happening in our country. That's our role, and we must play it to the best of our ability, making sure that you Liberian people that sit out there and watch us, you can get exactly what's unfolding in Liberia during this period.
This is where I say leadership come in. That broadcast lasted for over close to 3 hours. We saw that, and I tell you, all of these people are on social media. They saw things happening. You got to be more proactive than reactive. Are you telling me that all of the hurricanes in the CDC saw people holding placards, marching on the streets? They could not hysterically, right, put the partisans into order. Look, gentlemen, you're on 24th Street, you're on wherever you are. Let's move into the scene right there and stop that. But they have to wait for days or hours to come and start condemning, wait on the president to condemn. So these are things that make the presidency look ugly. Because I tell you, maybe he could be in meeting and having some other engagement, and it's not that every information that happens on social media, the president is aware of it. Sometimes that's why you have people in chain of command, campaign and other stuff. They monitor, even if they have the party have a television station, they will ran that. They saw people holding placards. Joseph Boga picture is clear. Social media is buzzing. You could what? Avert that situation right there. Imagine if you see your party in face fight with another party, even on social media. If police is not there, and you can identify the partisan, that's why you have structure to know who and who is in which group. Again, you see the CDC have Western voters. They have different group. You will know which group is at what area. That's why you have plan as a party to know where are you carrying a campaign. And in that area, but will just jump on and say I'm having a campaign. I saw in a couple of churches from Dupo Road to Painesville, other areas, people having service in church wearing the bearer of the ruling party. That's not bad if the church allows that. But again, one thing we need to speak about, we need to bring a couple of people to talk about our religious leaders. What are they doing? We saw what happened to the mosques on Benson Street.
We just saw saw a reaction from that mosque where the president was on, was it Friday?
Yeah,
for a prayer with them, and the mosque was flooded with people with berets carrying their blue or red berets, and that mosque came on a strong condemnation, by members of the opposition political parties. And we don't know what are people doing. People are saying different things and all of that. And with that, there was this press conference. Let's see whether we can bring you an excerpt from the leadership of that mosque, refuting what happened. It's not something they sanctioned, but let's see whether we can bring you an excerpt as we get prepared to wrap it up on this edition of the program.
That was supposed to preach on that Friday, Islamically. It was not the sermon that had to do with politics. It was the sermon that had to do with the Islamic history. And when I went down to receive the president, I didn't see the banner at all. I was not aware of it. But later on, the only time I get to know that there was banner placed on the box, it was through phone call. And right there, when I turned around, I saw somebody was in the process of taking it down. That was the time I get to know that banner was placed on the box when the president is in. And let me use this time to say to the world that placing a banner that carries the logo of an institution or photo, image of somebody, it is wrong. And we had it against it. Not just the president, or whosoever. And we are not against the coming of the president in the central mosque, because we were not the one that sent for him to come. He chose to come to the mosque and for a purpose that we stand for. That is to pray for peace that we've been doing in this country. And I even make mention of that in my sermon. After the end of the sermon, before the prayer commenced, I said, and I repeat today, that the Muslims, especially the imams of this country and the pastors of this country, anytime there is problem, they are called upon to pray. And if the imams pray for that problem to be evacuated or to be removed from this country, at the end, the imams and the pastors are put at the back. I said that in my sermon, at the end of my sermon. And I say it today. And that's the reality. And I said in conclusion of that, I said maybe at this time now, because we are exposing it now, so maybe at this time, that will come to hurt. And I'm not talking about specifically President Weah, but it can also be President Weah. It can be whosoever the Liberian people will choose to be the second president. Be a President Weah, be any other president that the Liberian people will choose. It's not a Benson Street that have the decision to choose the president of the country, so we cannot endorse one standard bearer for one political party. The mosque is open for prayer. The mosque is the worship site. It's not a political party that will make decision to say we choose this person or we choose this person.
Now, later you listen to him. Indeed, is smartly, shifted, because even as that, you knew it, you saw them, Now, because of the condemnation, you have to come up and say, it's not acceptable in the mosques. Every political party is welcome, but I think the main concern is like taking those religious areas for campaign. I mean, spreading of campaign materials, placards all over the place. I don't know what you make of his comeback with this.
These are sugarcoating comments, and our religious leaders must be more serious. They are leaders. They should be very much cautioned, of what they do. They have other people who are in the hierarchy of that mosque.
Mm-hmm.
So even if service is going on, something is wrong, you will correct it. That's what leadership is about. It's about instituting the right thing at the right time. So if you know it's against the law, it's against the faith, you had to correct it. You have other people who saw it, who spoke to you. It was a long service. It was not like 5 to say, it happened in a twinkle of an eye. You say, okay, it was 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Because even before the president arrived, there were people, supporters already there, and those things were all, out there even before the president arrived for service with them. But these are things that the religious community should take cue from. The house of worship. I mean, you can welcome your religious leader. I mean, your leaders, welcome people. That every mosque and church do have people that have their own side politically, but using those areas for those kind of scenes, I think that's why people are frowning on. But
and again, you drive away the other people. That's why people avoid it, because hey, everybody must be given a platform in a religious institution. So if the people see like anti opposition or anti or government, then you tend to be like on the other side. So you should be open. And one thing I see our religious leaders, I mean, they hate some of the officials in our religious community in Liberia, the things they do, the comments they make on social media. And I'm like, you guys need to be neutral, because if other parties see, the kind of comments from your church, or see you doing, or only accepting one group of people or side one group of people, it's ugly for you. So we don't want them to get involved. You go back to the Bible. You preach about Christianity,
the Quran. You take us back to the Quran.
The things for a part, it says you have shield your mouth with devil money.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to have devil money to shield your mouth. So indeed, Liberia is all we have. We must be very careful how we sit on that mat.
So just before we will wrap up with this one, this news coming out of Liberia this morning about the Mohamed Toure, who's a former police chief of next door Sierra Leone. from what we gathering, he was one of those who allegedly was involved with that failed coup in Sierra Leone, the coup attempt in Sierra Leone. He was probably dismissed or left the country, and has been in Liberia since 2022. Am I right? And it was a huge scene today between the police headquarters and the Temple of Justice, where we understand that the government of Sierra Leone is requesting an extradition for Mohamed Touré from the borders of Liberia, or from the shores of Liberia, let's put it that way. Our reporters are still gathering the facts surrounding this situation. We hope we can get the details, but let's get an excerpt from this commentary by our reporter who was between the police headquarters and Central. I mean, the Temple of Justice this morning.
Since Friday, and we are yet to know if they will be granted the rate of expedition, to carry the former police chief of Sierra Leone back to Sierra Leone. Some people that we have talked to here, some lawyers from the grounds of Temple of Justice, is saying that they need to inform the Liberian government, needs to inform ECOWAS needs to inform the ECOWAS community before allowing them to the rate of expedition, giving them the right to carry the former police chief back to Sierra Leone. And some are saying yes, he can go, but if anything's happening, definitely Liberia are going to be in trouble, because they are the government is to inform ECOWAS before allowing this individual to get back to his country. So we have raised tension in Liberia to see military personnel from Sierra Leone and riding a diplomatic plate on a white vehicle, as you can see in your screen, riding a Forerunner white and with a diplomatic plate on this car. Have come to far in the rate of expedition in order to have the former police chief back to Sierra Leone for investigation. So this has been the actual happenings here this Monday, the 7th day of August 2023, at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. And
yeah, so Nathan, you listen to that. I think we were just pondering over that. We are yet to get the details. Our guys are seeing how best they can work on getting court documents. We understand there is something filed before one of the courts at the Temple of Justice to have this former police chief of the Republic of Sierra Leone extradited, that is sent back to his country. For what? We are yet to know, but I think this is a very huge one indeed. Whether it's going to be through a diplomatic means, a legal means, this is something we are all looking at.
Indeed, Chief Superintendent Mohamed Touré, he's been residing in Liberia, as the news said, and he was since March 2022. You know, it's 2023 this year, so over a year now in Liberia. And after tip-off, he was arrested by the police and sent to central prison. But the Sierra Leone government is claiming they are alleging that
not central prison, but yet in police custody.
In police custody at the central office. But yet the Sierra Leone government is alleging that he was part of a coup to overthrow the president. So indeed, ECOWAS needs, because you cannot extradite people of such like that, ECOWAS needs to be informed. As you know, the issue of coup has been in Africa. We have had Sarah attempted coup, and I was reading from a site. It says that in just over a year, Africa has experienced 3 successful coups, 2 in Mali and one more recent in Guinea. So you see that one unsuccessful coup attempt in Niger.
That's what I was
So
coming to.
and so there has been a lot of stuff even in Chad. So the military coup has surface in Africa. We have seen a lot of coup, and we know what coup can do to our country, the various countries that have experienced that. And so indeed, we must not condone it, but in the extradition treaty between Liberia, Sierra Leone, and must be
looked at legally.
Again, if he has a file for asylum based on what the nature of the situation, he feels that his life is being threatened, he will be in danger. So there are a whole lot of legal grounds he could base on, and he can be granted asylum in this country. So other countries did that. Ivory Coast president, what now? The former Babu, he went away and he returned to the country. We saw what happened. Our president sought asylum, right? He was sent to Nigeria when George Bush told him to step down. So there are a lot of things that happen, and we hope that the right thing will be in full.
Yeah, because the fact that he's linked to an alleged coup that failed, there are a lot of things that will interplay. I'm sure that, like I said, we hope we can get the legal documents to know what the findings are. Somebody say remind me of the Henry Costa stuff.
So he's now paid there.
He escaped to Seven.
I don't know if he was police director at that time. That what came to my mind, but we're still doing research.
So it was I know the Liberian government at the time wanted Costa, but I don't know whether there was a formal submission made, but horribly Costa was given an exit through civilian back to the US. So those are things that we looked at because we are two neighboring countries that share common borders, and if there's anything that spill from one to another, it's going to be terrible for our people, especially the common people who do their cross-border businesses and all of those things. There are a lot of implications that this will have on the two countries. So, and of course, Liberians are largely living in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leoneans are largely as well living in Liberia. We don't want anything that will degenerate into something that will make the two countries have a sour relationship. So they need to handle it very well. They need to handle it very well.
Looking at all the laws and situation, they need to make sure that, hey, if this guy is claiming asylum, his life is being threatened, you cannot put him in more danger. If he's held for a crime, how can we peacefully, professionally, legally transfer him to go and face persecution? So indeed, we hope that leaders should not use a coup and other stuff to witch hunt people who they are not. And also, we do not condone issue of coup because it's all around in Africa, and the Mediterranean has been hardly accused of coup, in this region, and even the war now is at a standstill. Looking at the situation with coup from Niger and other countries, Chad, we cannot continue to do that.
Yes, so on that note, I don't know whether there's anything, but we just maybe we'll carry by the show to recognize our sponsors, the Park Liquor Outlet, Mama T Restaurant, and of course the Nathan Charles Insurance Agency that is blowing super heavy here in Minnesota. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Basically, we are here to serve. We provide you home insurance. We provide you auto, your car, any vehicles you have. We can insure that for you. We have competitive rates. We have various carriers, so we work with all of these carriers, meaning that the big insurance company, that the Progressive, Allstate, Not General, Liberty Mutual, to provide you services. We have a lot of ways we can help you save on that. And some of the clients have been saving like $100 and some more dollars. Like, oh, really? Yeah, this is how we can help you save you. And indeed, some people believe they have insurance coverage, but what do you have cover on your vehicle? Some people don't have the glass cover. Some people don't have towing cover. Some people don't have the tires. If you punch up, they don't know that if that is covered. So all of these things, we are here as an agent to explain the coverages you have. So call us on 816-433-979. if you need a quote, and we are extending our services throughout the United States. But for now, we are in Minnesota, and we hope to extend that vehicle service throughout. But if you have a business, you want to insure your home, wherever part of the country you are welcome. We can insure that for you, and we are here to serve you. A lot of services we will be providing very soon.
And I tell you, on that note, we wrap it up on this edition of Diaspora Talk. We hope to catch you on Wednesday when we will be back with another one. Let's keep the peace. Let's
no toting casket.
No toting casket. Put the caskets away. When people die, we'll buy them. You know, we have to keep the peace. Run a clean campaign across our country, making sure that we all, put Liberia first. And after October 10, 2023, we all will have a one Liberia. We all move into a new direction with whoever becomes the next president of the Republic of Liberia. Until then, do have yourself a wonderful time. Let's leave you with this one with Pack Liquor Outlet. Bye-bye.
Let your celebration begin with Pack Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Pack Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Pack Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.